Can you talk a little bit about your fight this weekend, who your opponent is, what your strategy would be, and everything?
Yeah, well, my opponent is John Barker from Sixels, and strategy probably, we'll try to end it quick, try to knock him out probably. Shoots at me. I know he's kind of like a wrestler, so he shoots at me if I try to choke him out, something like that. I don't know, we'll see. I usually go into a fight and just kind of play it how it happens, you know?
Yeah.
I don't, like sometimes I have a little bit of strategy, but it's more or less just see what happens and react how kind of they fight. So.
Okay.
But I'm fighting this weekend. And then next weekend I fight John Lovejoy at WNCC over in Elkhart Lake. That's going to be the super fight from Super Bike show or whatever. And pretty much same tactic with him. I know he likes to kick, so I heard he's a big guy that comes out like trying to head kick, so I'm probably going to, you know, go out there and just read him out a little bit and see what he does, and then wait for my moment and attack, and then try to finish it as quick as possible.
And then your next fight in the Combat USA tournament is against Floyd Hodges. You know, what do you know about him, and then what do you think going into that? What are you going to try to do, and you know, what do you think your chances are of moving on?
Well, I think we got two styles that are going to clash pretty good. I mean, he's a boxer and I'm a wrestler, but we both kick, so it should be interesting. He's got some really heavy hands. You know, if he hits me a few times, you know, if he hits me in the right spot, could do some damage. I don't know. But you know, if I take him down, you know, I'm a pretty strong wrestler. I think I can do some damage right there. So it's going to be, you know, work cardio pretty hard because it's probably going to be a fight that's going to last a little bit longer than the rest, you know? Sure.
You know, and then what do you think your chances are of taking, you know, the whole tournament and everything with the other guys that are still left in?
Well, first of all, I'm going to beat Floyd, and he's number one ranked 35 pound in the state. You already know that. But so first step is beating him, and I'm going to have different strategies, of course, no matter who I'm going to fight, you know. But train to beat Floyd, and then we will see in June who wins between Cassie and Powell.
Right.
I would train to fight each of them differently. Cassie is more of a stand-up fighter. He's got a little bit of a ground game, but he's more of a stand-up fighter. He's a really good boxer, and he's more of an intelligent fighter, I'd say. He doesn't waste kicks or waste punches, and he's patient. So I mean, fighting him would definitely, you know, I'd have to work around watching how his boxing and his footwork is, because I think he's pretty good on his feet. And Tao, if I train to fight him, he's the way I look at him is he's good on both stand-up and ground. But with Tao, he is more likely to throw a fancy kick that could be sloppy than Cassie is. So with Tao, you're going to be looking at timing on kicks, where if he's going to do a spinning back kick or, you know, something flying, you're going to have to time it out on how you attack him. So it's like those two are the two different, actually all three of them, Floyd, Sam, and Josh, it's three different type of fighters. So depending on who I'm going to get, I'm going to train a different style for each of them probably. Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about your background, how you got involved in fighting, and, you know, how that's become a major part of your life?
First of all, I wrestled pretty much my whole life. My dad was a state champion high school wrestling coach. So with the wrestling, you know, I have a pretty good background in that. Made state-wise for Shawano for about 10 years I had there. I think it was about 9 years I had their all-time win record, stuff like that. You know, so I'm pretty strong wrestling. When I was younger, before I was into wrestling, I was in Taekwondo for about 5 years. So I got some Taekwondo experience too, you know, so it's going to help with my kicks. And, but I don't know, I never really was interested in mixed martial arts too much, but one of my cousins, he went and had a fight. And I watched him, and I seen the guys at my weight, and I was just like, well, you know, maybe I should try this out. It doesn't look too bad, you know? And I tried it out, lost my first fight in like 52 seconds, I believe, in a guillotine. I got passed right out cold. And, well, it was just like, it was pretty much just a common mistake if you didn't know much about jiu-jitsu, you know?
Right.
One of those kind of things, and as soon as that happened, you know, I was like questioning if I should continue or not, and I was like, you know, I'll do one more, break even, you know, end at 500. And then I won that one, and I was like, I'll do one more just to get a winning record, and then I quit. And then it just kept saying, oh, just keep doing one more until I was like, well, I'm getting pretty good at this, so I guess I'll just keep doing it.
And you've been doing some judging as well, I think?
Yeah, I judged a couple fights for the WNCC already. Mike Biddle. I actually fought Mike Biddle in my first amateur title fight for Evolution Fighting Championships when Mike Carbajal had that. And I ended up beating him by a split decision. And ever since then, we've been pretty good buddies and, been up for a couple of judging jobs.
What can you say about your camp and how that has improved you, to make you a better fighter?
Well, before I started training at the dungeon, I started training there in about December. I'd say I started about a year and a couple months before that is when I first started getting into mixed martial arts. But training at the dungeon, I'm going to have partners to roll around with, and they got really nice equipment and stuff like that, which is definitely helping. They have a weight room and all that. And, I can do everything right there. Before I was at the dungeon, I didn't belong to a gym. I just kind of did it out of my basement, or in a wrestling room or something like that in the high school. And I just had my friends, that would come and wrestle with me or hold some pads. I never got to really spar with anybody. I had to drive from area to area, one to lift weights, one maybe to swim, one to do some wrestling. So it's more convenient just to do pretty much everything at one gym.
You've recently had your friend Kevin, I think, passed away, and
yeah.
I was curious as to how that's affected you, and if you'd like to say something about it.
Well, when I started fighting, I was fighting independent for a while, and then me and a few of my buddies, we started up a fight team. We called it Death Row Fight Team. And Kevin there was 5 members, and Kevin was one of them. So me and Kevin trained together quite often. His brother Justin was our coach. So me and Kevin are pretty close, We were training together all the time, and we'd see each other every weekend and stuff like that when we had that team going. So I was pretty close to him. He passed away. It was unfortunate. There's nothing you can do about it, once it happens. But I'm just trying to, focus on fighting right now and put that past me, I guess. I always think about him and stuff like that, but I'm not gonna let it stop me. That's for sure.
And then finally, you are known as a man of many hairstyles.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, what can we expect to see in your upcoming fights?
I don't know. I kind of leave it up till that day. I don't like people knowing until I walk out there. So one of those kind of things. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna start doing something a little different. So.